If you have ever had one minor inconvenience completely ruin your confidence for an entire day, welcome.
You are our people. You are in the right place.
You really are. Because, babes, the iced coffees are on deck.
They are on deck. They are sweating through the plastic cups. And yes, babes, this is proudly our third coffee-type drink of the morning.
I mean, if fraps even count as coffee at this point.
We really need to have a structured debate about whether a caramel frappe is a morning beverage or just like a socially acceptable milkshake that you drink at 9 in the morning to cope with life.
Honestly, it's a milkshake. And, babes, we do not care.
We really don't.
We are caffeinated, we are here, and babes, we are adults, so we can literally do what we want. If I want to drink 3 milkshakes masquerading as espresso, that is my right.
Exactly. But it does bring up this whole, concept of how much caffeine is actually too much caffeine. Because I feel like we're constantly riding that line.
We crossed the line 3 years ago.
Huh?
But for me, like, an iced coffee isn't even just a drink anymore. It feels like a therapy session in a plastic cup.
It really does. It's like emotional spackle.
Yes. Like, the moment that cold liquid hits my system, I just feel this false sense of invincibility. Like, oh, suddenly I can conquer my inbox, I can organize my closet, I can fix my posture.
It's pure physiological delusion, though. Like, you take one sip of cold brew, your cortisol completely spikes, your heart rate accelerates, and your brain just, misinterprets that chemical panic as genuine motivation.
It really is just fight or flight in a cup.
Right. You suddenly think you're the kind of person who wakes up at 5 in the morning to meal prep, but really severe caffeine addictions are just like a mandatory requirement for surviving adulthood now.
We have collectively agreed to just live in a state of perpetual panic just to answer emails slightly faster. It's sick.
It is sick. But speaking of panic, babes, we need to talk about spray deodorants.
Oh my God, I am already spiraling.
Because, babes, I wore a Dove spray deodorant this morning.
No. Why would you do that to yourself?
I know. It was a moment of weakness. But the entire morning, literally since I walked out of my apartment, I have been absolutely convinced that I smell.
Wait, do you actually smell? Or is it just the paranoia?
I have zero evidence. Like, nobody has said anything. I've been doing the subtle shoulder sniff, but the paranoia is actively eating me alive.
It is the absolute worst horror. Just being self-conscious about your scent all day. It's paralyzing.
I've been walking around with my elbows pinned to my ribcage like a T-Rex. The fear of lifting your arms in a public setting is so real.
But why do spray deodorants feel so fundamentally untrustworthy? Like, what is the science there?
Well, analytically, it's about the physical feedback loop, or the total lack of one. With a solid stick, you feel a layer of wax and aluminum on your skin.
Right, you get that sticky reassurance.
Exactly. But with an aerosol, the propellant just evaporates instantly, so it literally feels like it bounces right off your skin and disappears into the ozone layer. There is zero physical proof that you applied anything to your body.
It is a total crisis of faith. You are just trusting this little aluminum canister with your social reputation. It's the exact same psychological trap as dry shampoo, honestly.
Oh my God, don't even get me started on dry shampoo.
Society just pretends it works way better than it actually does. Like, we all lie and say it gives us volume, but really it just coats your scalp in like rice starch and creates this heavy cement paste.
It's awful. Or paper straws.
Yes. The paper straws.
We are all just participating in this mass delusion that it's totally acceptable for our drinking tube to dissolve into mushy, fibrous pulp after literally 4 sips.
Well, the cup is still made of plastic. Make it make sense. But honestly, the deodorant betrayal is exactly why we wanted to give the Snark Squad some messy life advice today, based on everything we learned this week.
Because we have survived a lot of chaos recently, so consider this our peer-reviewed research. We have 5 chaotic, entirely relatable life lessons for you.
Please start, because I need this.
Okay, lesson number 1 stems from the absolute logistical nightmare that was Mother's Day this past weekend. And the lesson is, if your family ever, for any reason, suggests camping as a holiday bonding experience, run.
I am screaming, run for your life. Family holidays always, without fail, result in someone crying in a bathroom. But camping, you don't even have a vacuum to cry.
Yeah, to cry in a tent, it's horrific. You take away Wi-Fi and television, which are the only things keeping family tension regulated, and suddenly you're staring at each other across a fire pit, remembering arguments from, 2014?
It is a trap. Okay, what is lesson number 2?
Lesson number 2 comes from a deep personal trauma I suffered this week. And it is, never underestimate retired women.
Wait, is it about the beer pong?
Yes, I got absolutely unequivocally dismantled in beer pong by two retired women named Joan and Felicia.
I literally cannot picture this. How did Joan and Felicia destroy you?
It was humiliating. We millennials play beer pong with this frantic, aggressive energy, right? Joan and Felicia just had the cold, dead eyes of apex predators.
Oh my God.
They had nothing but time, absolute patience, and muscle memory. They didn't even cheer when they made a cup. They just stared at me until I drank.
I want to be Joan and Felicia when I grow up.
Yeah.
That is iconic. Okay, lesson number 3 is about my own current delusion. I tried to plan a vegetarian week.
Oh, the holistic wellness era. How is that going?
It's not. So lesson number 3, one Pilates class does not mean you've changed.
It really doesn't.
I got like $50 worth of organic kale, convinced myself I was this serene plant-based goddess, and I was so insufferable in the group chat. But the reality of having to actually chop a root vegetable after a 9-hour workday,
Right.
I'm ordering a burger immediately.
The aspirational grocery haul gets us every time. You aren't buying vegetables, you're buying the idea of a better version of yourself, and that version doesn't exist.
She's a myth. Which leads to lesson number 4, going right back to your morning trauma. Do not trust spray deodorant during stressful situations.
It is a fair weather friend. It literally requires a resting heart rate to function. Do not wear it to a job interview.
Never. And finally, lesson number 5, which perfectly transitions us into the gossip. We have been watching a staggering amount of messy reality TV.
Too much, honestly.
And the lesson is, reality TV will absolutely trigger your relationship spirals.
It rewires your brain. You watch two strangers scream at each other on a yacht, and suddenly you are hyper-analyzing the tone your partner used to ask you to empty the dishwasher.
You literally start projecting narrative arcs onto your own life.
Yeah.
You're like, wait, am I getting the villain edit in my own kitchen right now?
Exactly. It's a sickness. But babes, it is a sickness we love, so let's get into the celebrity spill segment because we have so much to unpack.
I am shaking my iced coffee to the microphone right now because I am dying to talk about the absolute mess that happened in the last 24 hours.
Let's start with Taylor Frankie Paul.
Oh my God, the Mormon wives mess.
Because the star of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives just took to Instagram with what I can only describe as a massive, emotionally charged legal manifesto tearing into her ex, Dakota Mortensen.
I am fully spiraling over the pure, unfiltered chaos of posting a legal manifesto on Instagram. Like prosecuting your domestic disputes in the court of public opinion.
Right next to a sponsored post for teeth whitening.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It is wild. She claims she was manipulated, threatened, physically hurt, gaslit. She said she regrets not leaving sooner.
But what's fascinating analytically is how she structured the post. She fully admits she wasn't innocent. She says, we were both in the wrong.
Which is such a risky PR move.
It is, but it's the 8-mile strategy.
Yeah.
You list your own flaws first to disarm the critics. But then she draws this massive line in the sand. She says, the difference is I didn't try to ruin your life, I didn't call the cops on you, and I didn't try to take your kid away.
Which is heavy. But does that PR win actually cost her in family court? Like admitting fault on a public platform when she's dealing with a custody battle.
Well, the legal side actually had an update. A judge just awarded her nearly 12 hours of custody of her son ever on Mother's Day, which is up from the 8 hours she had before.
After the whole incident where she accidentally hit her other kid with a bar stool.
Right. So the court is slowly reintegrating her time despite the Instagram noise.
But right in the middle of all this heavy legal stuff, she decides to randomly catch a stray and throw shade at her ex-bestie, Michaela Matthews.
Oh. The Michaela call-out was so specific.
She literally wrote, she can go kick rocks.
I am deceased. There is nothing quite like a reality TV friendship betrayal when the heat turns up and your bestie abandons you. Devastating.
Go kick rocks is such a potent Utah housewife insult, too. But zooming out, the professional fallout for the whole show is wild. The husbands of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives are reportedly refusing to film without a pay bump.
I'm sorry. What do these men think they are?
I know, the audacity is staggering.
You are background accessories. You are human props wearing quarter-zip sweaters while your wives destroy each other for our entertainment. What leverage do they possibly think they have? It's peak male reality TV ego. They've conflated their physical presence on a beige sectional with actual narrative value. If they aren't flipping a table, the network could literally replace them with cardboard cutouts, and the ratings wouldn't dip.
Literally no one would notice. And speaking of consequences, Taylor's rumored season of The Bachelorette is completely off the table. It's not on ABC's summer schedule.
Which is just peak corporate karma for this level of public chaos. Disney wants sterile drama. They do not want an active CPS investigation and Instagram manifestos.
They really don't. But if we want to talk about reality stars making terrible choices that end up in legal documents, we have to talk about Lisa Wu.
Oh, the real estate nightmare. We are moving from relationship drama straight into financial litigation.
I gasped when I read this. Buying a house for a friend is the most unhinged thing I have ever heard.
Let's break down the mechanics. Former Real Housewives of Atlanta star Lisa Wu is denying theft by deception allegations after her ex-pal, Norma Denise Mitchum, filed a police report in DeKalb County, Georgia.
Mixing friends and the Georgia legal system, what could go wrong?
Exactly. So Norma couldn't qualify for a home, right? So Lisa and her boyfriend, Donald Jacob, stepped in and bought it for her using an LLC.
I have to stop you. The cardinal rule of adulthood is that you never, ever co-sign or buy property with a friend unless you are actively prepared to end up on TMZ.
Never. It's a mix of a savior complex and financial delusion. Wrapping it in an LLC doesn't protect you from your friend defaulting on rent.
So what happened? Did she stop paying?
Well, Norma claims Lisa tried to sell the house back to her at an aggressively jacked up price and never intended to transfer the deed.
Shady.
But Lisa aggressively denies this. She says she's protecting her 30-year reputation and that Norma totally ghosted her on payments and is now just squatting in the house.
Calling her a squatter is so vicious.
It's a landlord-tenant dispute masquerading as a friendship betrayal. But babes, TMZ obtained the text messages.
The texts, I screamed. I literally screamed.
From April 3rd, Lisa is literally begging Norma to pay her water bill.
Quote, don't want them to cut her water off. The absolute unmitigated embarrassment of having to text your friend to pay their utility bill, it shatters the entire Real Housewives illusion.
You're supposed to be an untouchable socialite, and behind the scenes you're doing debt collection via iMessage.
GM Denise, please pay the water. I would fake my own death. You lose the capital, you lose the friend, and you get your typos published on TMZ.
It's a steep price. But speaking of reality stars making delusional choices, we have to head to Los Angeles. Spencer Pratt is running for mayor.
I can't even say it with a straight face. Spencer Pratt.
The guy with the flesh-colored beard who used to stage paparazzi photos with healing crystals
Is the most fascinating delusion I have ever witnessed. And the confidence.
He went on an NBC LA interview and literally compared his community experience to Barack Obama's pre-politics days.
Pop it right now.
He claimed Obama didn't have awards back then either. And The View got a hold of this clip and just openly, aggressively laughed at him on national television.
As they should. And just a reminder for the Snark Squad, we are strictly impartial on the actual politics here. We are just focusing on the pure pop culture absurdity of Spencer Pratt catching heat from Joy Behar.
Oh, Joy Behar absolutely ended him. Sonny Hostin pointed out that Obama went to Harvard Law and was a senator, but Joy compared current LA Mayor Karen Bass's JFK Profile and Courage Award to Spencer's highest honor.
Which is?
His 2018 Snapchatter of the Year award at the Shorty Awards.
I am fully cackling. Snapchatter of the Year.
Winning an award for using the dog filter on an app in 2018 does not qualify you to run a $13 billion municipal budget.
It is the purest form of male reality TV ego. I secretly kind of love his and Heidi's absolute commitment to the bit, though. They never break character.
They're dedicated to the grift, but transitioning from people who are desperate for the spotlight to someone who is actively terrified of it, Anne Hathaway is holding up The Devil Wears Prada 3.
Wait, I am so defensive of Anne, so tread carefully here.
I respect it. So Devil Wears Prada 2 made $445 million worldwide this year. Meryl Streep, Emily Blunt, and the studio are aggressively ready to greenlight a third movie. They want to print more money.
Of course they do.
But Anne is holding it up, and insiders say it's not about the money at all. She wants a creative reason to do it.
Because she knows how the internet works.
Exactly. She specifically cited being terrified of audiences turning on her again, pointing back to the brutal public backlash she faced after winning her Oscar for Les Miserables.
The Hathaway era was so dark. It was pure, internalized misogyny. People just decided she was trying too hard because she was an earnest theater kid who cared about her job. That is so emotionally damaging.
It takes a decade to wash that kind of algorithmic cruelty off your brand, so I totally applaud her for holding a major studio hostage over this.
It is such a boss move.
She is looking at Meryl Streep and a global studio and basically saying, entertain me with a better script first, and she holds all the power because the fans won't watch a sequel without Andy Sachs.
But question for the listener, and for you. Do we actually need a third movie? Like, can we just let iconic things rest? Not every piece of IP needs to be squeezed until it's a dry husk.
From an artistic standpoint, no, we don't need it. From a studio earnings standpoint, they will milk it forever. But speaking of iconic women and high fashion anxiety, the Met Gala tea is still spilling.
The Tyla and Rihanna interaction.
Yes. So Tyla has always praised Rihanna as her blueprint, right? But at the Met Gala, this video went totally viral showing Tyla approaching Rihanna and the interaction abruptly ends. It looks like a total devastating brush-off.
I have been projecting entirely onto Tyla all week over this.
Tyla even had to post a TikTok doing PR crisis management, saying she just felt awkward because Rihanna looked busy and trying to play it cool.
But the insiders say Tyla was privately devastated. And I feel that in my soul, the visceral, heart-stopping panic of finally meeting your idol, and they are just in a bad mood.
It would end me.
I would literally dissolve into the Met Gala carpet. I would never recover.
But I have to defend Rihanna here. We have to analyze the red carpet logistics. Rihanna is wearing a custom corset that probably weighs 40 pounds and restricts her oxygen.
True, she looks stunning but uncomfortable.
Plus, sources claim she was already in a terrible mood that night because of some drama involving A.P. Rocky. She has the right to be cranky in a corset. She doesn't owe a high-energy mentorship moment just because a camera is on.
That is fair. But it just shows how exhausting it is to be Tyla right now. You have one awkward interaction, and you have to scramble to make a TikTok to explain it to the algorithm so you don't get canceled.
Exactly. And speaking of pop princesses having their every public outing completely misunderstood and policed by the media, Britney Spears.
Oh, do not get me started on the hamburger knife. I am furious about this.
It's so ridiculous. So reports came out, sparked by a tweet from journalist Jeff Snyder on May 13th, calling it an insane dining experience.
Insane.
He claimed Britney was acting erratic, barking, screaming, and wielding a knife at the Blue Dog Tavern in Sherman Oaks.
A tavern?
And TMZ picked it up. But Britney's rep released a furious statement shutting the entire thing down.
Because it was a lie.
Total lie. She was with her assistant and her bodyguard. She was holding a knife strictly to cut her hamburger.
Like a normal person eating food.
Right. And she was simply telling an animated story about her dog barking at the neighbors.
I am screaming about how a woman cannot even tell a story about her annoying dogs with hand gestures without the internet calling her insane. It is pure misogyny.
You saw a woman cutting a burger and thought your life was in danger? Be so real.
If Leonardo DiCaprio was passionately telling a story with a butter knife, they would call him eccentric and charming. But because it's Britney, the media is just depicting her as a bad person, exactly like they did 20 years ago.
The public is still fundamentally obsessed with policing her every move. They want her to be a villain.
Just let the woman eat her tavern burger in peace.
I agree. But let's shift from media weaponization to how the rich and famous are spending their money and handling their exes.
The billionaire Bales and Birkins. This is wild.
Okay, first, the Jenners. On Jake Shane's podcast, Kylie Jenner revealed that her and Kris Jenner's love language is gifting each other ultra-rare Hermes Birkin bags.
I cannot.
Kris apparently got her a super rare one for her 25th birthday in 2022.
I am spiraling over the sheer wealth of trading Birkins like they are Starbucks gift cards. Happy birthday, here's a $50,000 leather asset.
It's an alternative asset class for them, but contrast that with Kim K.
What did Kim do?
Kim Kardashian just paid a cool $500,000 bail for Richard Glossip. He's an Oklahoma ex-death row inmate who spent 29 years locked up before the Supreme Court tossed his conviction.
Wait, $500,000?
Yes. Film producer Scott Budnick posted the photos of his release.
Contrast Kylie buying purses with Kim literally buying people's freedom from death row. That is an insane juxtaposition of wealth deployment.
It really is. But moving to how celebrities handle exes, Ariel Winter confirmed on Instagram that she and her ex, Luke Benward, who split in August 2025, are still best friends and co-parenting their dogs.
I am calling HR. Could you ever look at your ex again, let alone share custody of a poodle?
Never. How do you split the vet bills without being passive-aggressive?
You don't. It's a facade. Speaking of exes and former bandmates, what is Niall Horan doing?
Oh, Neil bluntly told The Edge breakfast show that he is not attending former One Direction bandmate Harry Styles' wedding to Zoe Kravitz.
Zoe, whose ring was hidden by those huge raindrop earrings at the Met Gala, by the way. Very strategic.
Very. But Niall claims he's just a busy man with other mates getting married.
Busy man. Bestie, it is a One Direction royal wedding. You go.
I know, he praised Harry's new album, Kiss All the Time, Disco Occasionally, but still said he isn't going.
That is the shadiest brush-off. He could fly private for 2 hours just to eat cake. He is actively choosing to avoid the reunion photo op.
It's a calculated PR move, for sure. But speaking of massive music industry news, we have to talk about the biggest, most exhausting drop of the year.
The Drake drop. I am physically tired.
Drake dropped 3 surprise albums on May 15th. Iceman, Habibti, and Maid of Honor, totaling 43 tracks.
Who has the attention span for 43 songs on a Friday?
Nobody! He confirmed it on his Iceman Episode 4 livestream, and the marketing was completely unhinged. He hid the release dates in giant ice blocks around Toronto until streamer Kishka found it.
I would get so overwhelmed by the ice block marketing. Like, I have to watch ice melt to know when the album drops.
It's a logistical nightmare, and the features are huge, Future, 21 Savage, Sexy Red, Central C, but that's not what the internet is spiraling over.
No, it's the BTS lyric.
Yes. On the track, "Make them cry," he raps. "I'm feeling like BTS because it took the whole career for me to be so discovered."
The panic of not knowing whether that is a compliment or a diss.
Twitter is fiercely debating it. Half thinks it's a diss, half thinks it's acknowledging BTS's 13-year grind to the top.
He is poking the BTS army.
Yeah.
And they are the most dangerous fandom on the internet. They will dismantle your digital footprint. He is accidentally starting a pop culture world war.
Shady breakdown. He knows exactly what he's doing. It drives algorithmic engagement. But speaking of global phenomena, let's wrap up with some alleged royalty in the empty nesters.
From rep royalty to actual royalty.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
First, the Obamas. Michelle Obama had a girls' night out at Funk in L.A. with daughters Malia and Sasha.
I love that they are 27 and 24 and just hanging out in L.A.
Michelle talked on the IMO podcast about the empty nester adjustment with Barack, and Malia even dropped the Obama last name for her short film The Heart to Avoid Nepotism Claims. She's going by Malia Ann.
I odd over them living together, but is dropping the last name actually going to hide that you were literally an Obama?
It's impossible. Everyone in Hollywood knows who she is. It's performative humility.
True. But what is the actual royal family doing?
Okay. Strictly allegedly, Kate Middleton and Prince William run a highly organized and disciplined system at Adelaide Cottage for George, Charlotte, and Louis.
Like how strict?
Strict routines, clear boundaries, mandatory outdoor time, and absolutely no screens. They want them to grow up with a sense of duty, not entitlement.
Can you imagine telling a 10-year-old they have to go outside because of their duty to the realm instead of playing on an iPad? The sheer pressure of being a 12-year-old prince without a screen is suffocating.
It's intense. But they're probably just trying to avoid raising another ex-Prince Andrew.
Oh, absolutely.
Because, allegedly, Andrew has been completely blacklisted from his nephew Peter Philip's June wedding to Harriet Sperling.
Yikes.
And officially ordered by King Charles to vacate the royal lodge, stripped of his titles. He's now just Andrew Mountbatten Windsor due to the Epstein scandal.
Imagine being the uncle that ruins the seating chart so badly your brother evicts you from a castle. The consequences are finally arriving.
Better late than never.
Babes, I am crashing.
The caffeine crash.
It is actively approaching at terminal velocity. I am out of breath. The frab is gone.
Snark Squad, thank you so much for spending part of your chaotic day with us.
Yes. And please, remind them what they need to do.
Go to the comments and drop your own messy life lessons. We need to know we aren't alone.
And send in your shady, snarky, or completely stupid submissions for the next episode.
Mm-hmm.
And seriously, someone demand that the audience tell us if spray deodorant actually works for anyone, or if it is a massive corporate conspiracy.
It has to be a conspiracy.
I am telling you, and honestly, my vegetarian era will absolutely not survive the weekend.
Yeah.
I am ordering a burger the second we stop recording.
Do it, and I will solemnly be sitting here realizing I will honestly never emotionally recover from losing beer pong to Joan and Felicia.
Never. But we want to leave you with a final provocative thought today.
Ooh, what is it?
If Drake is using giant melting ice blocks in Toronto to announce an album,
Yeah.
what ridiculously dramatic way would you announce a minor life update to your friends?
Like hiring a skywriter to say you bought a new rug.
Exactly. Think about it. Stay caffeinated.
Stay chaotic.
And we will see you on the Snark side.